Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to St. Bart's. We are here today in the Cessna 172. I have the wrong tail number on it, but that's okay. Getting ready for a flight today down to Robert Bradshaw International Airport on the island of St. Kitts. Should be an awesome flight. So this is in DX12. So it's completely stutter free so far that I've seen. So let's get going. Rotating beacon on. Mixture is rich. There is no carb heat. Master and battery switches on. Fuel pump on. Crack the throttle. And let's see if I can. First of all, let's see if there's anybody we're gonna mutilate here. There is not. And there's a good start. Avionics master is on. Let's lean the mixture a little bit here for taxi. Alright, RPM is good. Oil pressure is good. Let's see. Altimeter is 1019. Alright, let's go 122.8. I don't believe we've got anybody on the... I don't believe we've got anybody on ATC. We excuse me, we do not. CDI is set. Let's go transponder. VFR, it's on standby. That's perfect. Alright, now with the strobe lights on, taxi light on. This has got to go to 1019 as well. Alright, so we are, like I said, in St. Bart's. Let's engage the brakes. Release the parking brake. Parking. Jeez, I sound terrible, don't I? Alright, my allergies are really killing me right now. Fuel pump off. Let's go get ourselves turned around here. I've got full rudder lock on, and this thing has got the turning circle of a steamship, which is not realistic. Alright, I'm just going to engage the brakes here. Get myself set in my seat a little bit better. Flight control check. We're going to go down on that side, up on that side, up on that, down on that side rather, up on that side. Flaps down and indicating. All the way down on that side, all the way down on that side. Flaps up and indicating all the way up on that side, all the way up on that side. Elevator moving properly. Let's re-engage the parking brake. Throttle to 1700 RPM. Left magneto, that's more of a drop than you'd want ideally. Right magneto, well no, I guess 100. Right magneto, good drop. Alright, there is no carb heat, so we're good there. Alright, back to 1000 RPM. Let's go throttle idle. Throttle idle check is fine. 1000 RPM. Let's go landing light on. Taxi light off. I do not see any traffic on the on the ForeFlight. I don't see any traffic on the G1000 either. Alright, lights are all on. Let's go fuel pump on. Let's go mixture rich. And St. Bart's traffic. Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo taking runway 10 for departure to the south. St. Bart's. And what I'm going to do is release the parking brake, and this is going to make taxiing much more effective. Alright, so no use looking down center line at St. Bart's and making sure there's no traffic on final, because you can't see. So you've got to rely on either radio calls or your digital instrumentation. So we're going to get out here on center line. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. I'm going to do a static start here, so we'll bring the power all the way in. Mixture is rich. Takeoff power 2350 is good. Release the brakes, and off we go. Airspeed is alive. Oil pressure is in the green. A little bit of left rudder, because this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright. Roll in a little bit of trim there. And as I said the other day, you don't have those horrendous blocks anymore in the water. Looks awesome. Heading at 060. Roll in just a little bit more trim there. And airplane is wanting to turn a little bit to the right, which is fine actually. Alright, so actually the island that we're going to, we just saw in the background. We are going to St. Kitts today. Cruise climb. I'm happy with 85 knots-ish. Transponder. Squawk altitude. Which is, and if you've noticed, we have not had a single stutter yet, which is definitely an improvement. There's St. Martin in the background. Making our turn now. A sharp looking airplane. Alright, 2,500 climbing 3,000. $900 climbing 3,000. 50 feet below your desired cruise altitude. Push the nose down. Pull the power back. Looking for about 2,400. As we continue to push this nose down, that those RPMs are going to increase. Always happens, and that's one of the things that happens in a constant speed propeller airplane. When you push the nose down, your RPMs are going to increase. When you pull the nose up, RPMs are going to decrease. So generally when you're trying to slow down, or you take some power out and pull the nose up, you want to leave the power a little higher than you actually want it to settle. Excuse me, a little lower. And as you pull the nose up, oh, I had it right the first time. You want to leave the power a little higher than what you actually want, because when you pull the nose up to slow the airplane down, your RPMs are going to increase. And conversely, when you're trying to speed up, if you want to add power and speed up, you want to set the power a bit higher than you actually want it, a bit lower than you actually want it, because as you level off by pushing the nose over and trimming, the RPM is going to increase. Don't ask me why. I can't answer that question, but I can tell you that it does happen. Alright, 108 knots in cruise, 116 knots true airspeed is about right. So we are on our way to St. Kitts. Let's have a look at this beautiful airplane. St. Martin in the background. St. Barts right there. And that's Statia right over there. St. Eustatius. Don't trust myself to quite the winds are a little bit wacky. At least they sort of seemed that way to me anyway the other day. And so seemed like a lot of turbulence for the amount of wind that was present. And Statia's a tricky little airport. So I kind of figured I will just going to go over here to St. Kitts. Nice big runway and beautiful destination. So yeah, it's not touchscreen, Mike. So, and this plane has got the constant the new constant fluid dynamics. That sounds very serious, doesn't it? So it would be a good plane to do this with. So we are about 15 minutes from St. Kitts, and as you've noticed, again, no stutters, none. So Bradshaw weather is going to update here pretty soon. So I think I'll come around. I was kind of thinking about going around that side, giving us good views of St. Kitts making a left traffic pattern entry, which is probably the standard traffic pattern entry into St. Kitts if I had to guess. And of course the good thing is I don't have to guess. What I can do is get out my handy dandy charts here. This scenery looks like perhaps it, like the islands from a distance. I mean, that looks a little cheesy, kind of, doesn't it? It don't really look like the visual quality that I think I am accustomed to. Let's see what our fuel levels are here. So, runway 7, reference chart here, right-handed traffic pattern. Well, there you go. That's what this is why you don't this is why you don't. We're going to try to get off on Bravo. That's why you don't assume right-hand traffic pattern. I mean, it makes sense because you're coming around. You'll see once we get in there. The only real way to make a left-hand traffic pattern would be go all the way around the island, like I was talking about. It seems to make a lot more sense just to have a right-hand pattern. Nevis down there to the south, Stacia over here. Can't quite see Antigua yet. Antigua is somewhat in that direction. But I suppose now would be as good a time as any to get some weather information for St. Kitts. We are 20 miles out right now. Weather just changed. So, altimeter 1017. I don't know why that changed to 1020, unless I've got automatic altimeter setting. And I hope I don't, because that would be really annoying. I don't like, generally speaking, at all with computers in any way. Yeah, see, this must have 1017. This is clearly changed. So that I'm going to have to check and make sure it doesn't do that, because that's annoying. I don't like things to change on their own. I like to, particularly for stuff like this, because it's my, I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but it's my responsibility as pilot to make sure that I've got the correct weather information. And correct altimeter setting. So the airplane definitely changed the altimeter setting. Unless there's a ghost involved. There may be a ghost involved. So weather is 06012 knots. Runway is 07. So basically right down the runway. Visibility greater than 6 miles. Got a few clouds at 2000. Temperature 3 to dew point 25. Altimeter 1017. And I'm going to look up Meteo Blue, which is apparently Microsoft Flight Simulator's official weather source. Okay. Now let's go. So it's saying right now east at 17 to 23. So it's a little bit higher than the METAR, which is normal. I mean, the METAR, the thing you always got to remember about the METAR is that a METAR is a snapshot. It's a moment in time. I think METARs may take an average over a period of like 3 minutes or something like that. I'm sure if it got like a big gust, it wouldn't just report that as the winds. But, you know, a METAR is a snapshot of the weather. So, come around, let's get a little look here. Let's get some information. Okay, elevation is 168 feet, so we're going to call it 200. So our traffic pattern will be at 1200. The other thing worth noting is that the Happy, the glide slope, is steeper than normal. That's always worth knowing because visual vertical guidance is provided by a PAPI on the left-hand side of the runway. 3.45 degrees. Standard PAPI is 3 degrees, so yeah, I definitely think the visual quality of I mean that looks bad. The airplane doesn't really seem to have very good longitudinal stability. Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo is 10 miles to the north, inbound runway 7. Bradshaw. Yeah, that was a great radio flow right there. Yeah, I mean that doesn't look real good. In fact, that looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. Clouds look awesome. No question about that. So we're going to initiate a descent here. Power back to 2200. Lights are on. Yeah, I mean those mounts are terrible. Just took a screenshot to post in the beta forums. So I don't see any traffic. Glad we're going to be going through this cloud. Give you a chance to see what those clouds look like. It's these new clouds are pretty awesome. Alright, 2100, we got 1,000 to go to our 2-hour traffic pattern altitude. See how these aren't, they're not pixelated at all. They're just really good, misty, low-level clouds. Fuel pump, I never turned it off, which is not good. Turn the pitot heat on. Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, overflying the field at 2,000 feet to enter a right downwind for runway 7. Bradshaw. So, yeah, this is when things might get a little adventurous here. And normally I don't think they would be tremendously keen on you doing this. VFR? I mean, you wouldn't, you know, you'd be in contact with the tower anyway. It doesn't really matter. So, the trees, when you get in close, were looking really good the other day. So, I don't know, I still think there's some dumbing down of the graphics to the benefit of the Xbox, but that's the way it is, right? Not much you can do about it. Alright, we'll make a, that's neat. Just all of the boats aren't underwater. Okay. Still don't see any traffic, which is good. Alright, a few pumps on, mixture is rich. That boat is stuck in the other boat, which is probably unfortunate for said boat. Okay, let's wait till we get to about 45 degrees, and that's where we are. Pull back the power just a little bit more, get into that second notch flaps. Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo turning right base from a 7 Bradshaw. I should really start figuring out what I want to say and then say it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting low here. At this rate. Turn it in early here. Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo turning a 2-mile final runway 7 Bradshaw. Because we've got the this terrain to the north, that's why there's the right traffic pattern. That's also why we want to make a bit of an early turn in if we can. We are above the glide slope. Put the pull the power a little bit.
500.
A bit of a right crosswind.
1 mile final runway 07.
Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo, short final runway 07 Bradshaw. Alright, airspeed I'm satisfied with.
500.
Not satisfied with this descent rate. Yeah, I mean lots of mean, the terrain is definitely kind of building in as you're coming in, you know, or the scenery rather. Alright, airspeed's okay. Now just keep it on center line. Power is all the way out. Don't land.
Stall. Stall.
Yeah, that's the idea. Alright, well. Pluses and minuses. Let's lean the mixture here for taxi. We'll leave everything else for once we clear the runway. And remember, you are not clear of the runway until you clear the double yellow lines. So don't think you can stop here and clean up the airplane. See, we've got the dashed line on this side, which means you can dash across that line. The double yellows on the other side, which means going the other direction. You cannot cross those without permission from air traffic control. So now that the entirety of our aircraft is past that double yellow line, now we can stop, put the flaps up, turn the fuel pump off, turn the pitot heat off, lean the mixture a bit more for taxi. And Bradshaw traffic, Skyhawk 172 Mike Romeo's clear the runway. Bradshaw. So lots and lots of scenery kind of blocking in as you approach the field. There are some weird artifacts like that right over there. The turbulence, the mechanical turbulence really seems to be a problem. And by mechanical turbulence, I mean... no, that's a tree. Trees are okay. By mechanical turbulence, I mean the turbulence from the updrafts off the ground. From terrain. You know, if you're going over smooth terrain, you shouldn't get much in the way of mechanical turbulence. You also shouldn't get a bus driving in front of your airplane, but I mean, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they do have an affinity for airport vehicles to be in the way. I wouldn't be half surprised if he just drives right in front of me right now. So normally you would park your 172 right in front of the terminal at a commercial airport, but guess what? Ain't nobody tell me I can't do it, so I'm just gonna do it. Alright. So mixture to idle cutoff, throttle is idle, avionics master always off first, lights off, mags off, master and battery switches off. Let's turn the put the parking brake on. So yeah, lots of the mechanical turbulence is too much. Clearly clouds look awesome. Scenery looked a little bit iffy. Coming in, the mountains were kind of weird, and then when you're coming in on final, you see like tons and tons of scenery just kind of leaking in to the scene as you approach. So performance-wise, it's very good. So But I mean, prior to this update, I could not use DX12 at all. It was just a stutter fest, and now I haven't had a single stutter, none. So big improvement there. All right.